Welcome back to another episode of How I Cook. I'm Stephen and Frederick, and I'm so happy you're joining me again. This week, we're doing sangria and two different types of galettes. Let's start with the sangria. Summer's on its way, and while sangria is not merely a summer drink, it's always good in the summer. So I'll show you how I make it. So sangria is wine, some alcohol, some juice, and some fruit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up some fruit, an orange, a lemon, and a lime, and I'm going to put it in a pitcher. These are beautiful oranges. Make sure you wash your fruit because you're throwing the peel in as well. I don't know if people wash their fruit, their oranges before eating an orange. I don't, because I throw the peel away, but for this, I need to. I'm gonna throw that one in. These are awful big, so I'm gonna cut them in half and throw them in the pitcher. Don't worry about the seeds. They won't bother you. There aren't many seeds in this orange to begin with. Great. Now onto the lime. Moving on to the lemon. And the last fruit we're adding, some strawberries. These are really ripe, so they're going to be perfect. I washed them ahead of time. So the strawberries are in. Next, I want to add some triple sec. Triple sec, it's a liqueur, it's an orange liqueur. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup. I'm only measuring, or somewhat measuring. Let's do 1/2 cup. Because we're filming. I would normally just eyeball it. 2 tablespoons of lime juice. This is lime juice for cocktails. It's not sweetened. There's also Rose's sweetened lime juice. You can use that. You could squeeze your own. 1, 2. Some orange juice. Let's put 1/2 cup. That was really close to 3/4 cup. And then finally the wine. Now you don't want to use a really expensive wine, but you want to use a nice wine, a wine that you would normally drink. So this is a Cabernet Sauvignon by Bogle, $12, so not really expensive, but a very nice drinkable wine. I'm going to pour that in here as well. Let's mix it up. And there we have sangria. Now, some people add soda. I'm going to show you something that I add right before serving instead of soda. Some people add sugar. I don't. But if you want it to be sweeter, go ahead. Remember, this is how I cook. Not the right way, not the way you should do it. It's how I cook. It's best if you make this overnight, chill it, or at least a couple hours in advance. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the refrigerator now while we do the other recipes, so at least it'll chill a little. So now we're moving on to the galettes. A galette is a French pastry, a French baked good that's sort of free-form. You'll see. This one is going to be sausage, mushroom, and onion. So this is 8 ounces of breakfast sausage. You know, the little tubes that come are a pound. This is half of that. So I'm just going to cut this up. I have a frying pan preheating because we're going to brown the sausage. Just a rough chop is fine. It'll break up in the frying process. Next, we're going to do around 8 ounces of mushrooms. I'm going to throw the stems away, compost them, and just use the caps. These are button mushrooms. You can use baby bellas, whatever mushroom you like. I'm cutting these up and I'm putting them in a microwave safe bowl. This is a rough chop as well because they wither down so much when they cook. I can already smell that sausage. Okay, so why did I put it into a microwave safe bowl? Because I'm going to microwave these. If you've ever cooked with mushrooms before and you put it in a frying pan, all the water gets released. And it takes quite a while to saute them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to microwave these for 2 minutes. It's going to release so much of that water without fully cooking them. We'll get rid of the water and then we'll be able to throw them in and saute them. While I'm doing that, I'm going to be cutting up half a small onion. It's a rough chop as well. I'm just going to leave them here until I'm finished with the sausage, and the sausage releases quite a bit of the fat. I'll drain off the fat, throw the mushrooms and the onions in with the sausage. Okay, so the sausage is pretty brown. I drained off the excess fat. There really wasn't that much. And now let's throw in the onion. The microwave is almost done. I'll just mix these up and then go get the mushrooms from the microwave and throw them in as well. So yes, there's quite a bit of liquid in this bowl. The bowl's hot. I'm going to pull the mushrooms out, leaving the liquid in the bowl. This will help them not to be so watery when we're sauteing, and things will go more quickly. The sausage I used was not sage sausage, but I really do like it, but they didn't have it at the supermarket, but that's okay. So I'll add a little sage. This is rubbed sage. A little thyme. Some black pepper. And some salt. Mix all that together. I'm going to turn this down to low and let it go for a little. The onions are becoming translucent. The mushrooms are starting to brown a little. Things are going as planned. There's also going to be some cheese in here. This is Fontina. We're going to add around 4 ounces of Fontina. Now, I could grate this. But I don't like grating cheese. So I'm just going to cut it up, try to make it nice and thin. Can you use other cheeses besides Gruyere? I mean Fontina. This is Fontina. You could use Gruyere. You could use Swiss. You could use cheddar. You want to use a cheese that's not too hard, that will melt, and one that you like. Fontina has a nice mild flavor, but a distinctive flavor. I like it. Okay, I'm going to throw the Fontina in, and we'll mix that up a little. And then ricotta. The Italian cheese, the soft cheese. So here's 1/3 cup. I find it easy to do that. That's more than 1/3 cup, I know. But I like ricotta as well. I've never been one to say, oh, that's too much cheese. Boy, does this smell wonderful. Looks pretty good too. Okay, I'm going to clean up a little. I'm going to put this on a burner that's not on, so it'll cool down ever so slightly while we put together the ingredients for the strawberry galette. Okay, time to put the galette together. So I have 2 pie crusts here, store-bought pie crusts. Can you use homemade? Of course you can. But this is so much easier. So I lay one out here. And I lay out another one, overlapping a little. This is a lot of filling. I press them down. So there you have it. I then take the filling and put it in the center. And we spread it out somewhat evenly. So there you have it. What do we do next? Oh, I didn't point out that this is a baking sheet with parchment on it. The parchment will help it not to stick. We simply fold the pie crust over. So it takes whatever form or shape that you give it. And I think that looks pretty good. And how easy was that? So I'm going to put this one aside. And this is our savory galette. And now I'm going to put together the ingredients for the sweet galette. We're going to be doing a strawberry galette. So I have, it's going to be around 2 cups, maybe a little bit more of strawberries that I chop up. Going to be a little bit more because I bought extra strawberries for the sangria. Sangria is still in the refrigerator, can't wait. So I'm just roughly cutting these up. These were pre-washed. Some of these are very ripe, which is great. So there we have around 2 cups of cut up strawberries. Let me just move this out of the way and you'll see how quickly this one comes together. Okay, we needed a little sugar. Around 1/3 cup, but some of these are really ripe and really sweet. So I'm going to do a little bit less than a third of a cup. We need some cornstarch. The berries are going to release lots of liquid. The cornstarch will help it gel. So this is a heaping tablespoon, let's say between a tablespoon and 2 tablespoons. A little salt. And the juice of 1 lemon. So a trick is to squeeze it and let the juice run through your clean hands so that the seeds stay out of the food. Then we mix it together. Yes, that's all the ingredients. We have another store-bought pie crust. This time we're only using 1. We're going to put the filling in the center. And then, again, we're just going to fold the pie dough up and around. It looks really cool. Looks like it was a ton of work, but it wasn't. One more thing we need to add. For this one, around a tablespoon of butter, cut into 4. And placed like so. Okay, I need to get one more thing for both of these, and then into the oven they go. Okay, one more step for both of them. We need to put an egg wash on them so they come out nice and golden brown. Here's 2 eggs. Here's 2 tablespoons of water in with the 2 eggs. And then egg wash. With a brush, you simply paint the dough. You want to make sure you get everywhere. If you don't, when it comes out, you'll see where you missed. So the oven has been preheating to 400 degrees. I'm going to put one on the middle rack and one on the upper rack. After 15 minutes, I'll go in, I'll switch them and turn them for another 15 minutes. And then after half an hour, we will check to see when they're finished. Okay, it's time for the galettes to come out of the oven. Here's the savory galette. And here's the sweet galette. Now, I didn't realize the crust on the sweet galette had cracked, so some of the juice ran out, but because of the cornstarch, most of the juice stayed in. When it cools down, it'll solidify more. So I put them both into a 400 degree oven, 15 minutes One on the middle rack, one on the upper rack. After 15 minutes, I switched them and turned them. After 30 minutes, I checked them. They were almost done. I didn't touch them, but I left them in for 5 more minutes. So every oven is different. So that's what you have to do. You know going in what you think you're going to do for time, but you need to play it by ear. Okay, these need to cool for a little. So it's time for the sangria. So this has been in the fridge for over an hour. Overnight would be better, but it's wine. It's going to be fine. I don't like to put the ice in with my sangria. I don't want to water it down. It doesn't necessarily even need ice, but I do like a little ice when I serve it for myself. That one, we're going to throw it away. So there we have a few cubes. I said earlier some people like to put soda in here, like 7-Up or the such. I do not, but I do like a little fizz. Here's club soda. So there's no sugar, there's no flavor. Put a little club soda in there. And then let's go in and get some of that fruit. Good, I get a piece of lemon. Piece of orange. And a piece of lime. Oh, and there's a strawberry toward the top. So I'll get a piece of each. And then pour that there. And there we have it. A red sangria. That's really good. I didn't put sugar in. It's not overly sweet. Some people like it sweeter. Again, this is how I cook. If you want to put sugar in, feel free. In a future episode, I will probably do a white sangria. Sausage, mushroom, and onion galette, strawberry galette, and sangria. All very easy, all great for a brunch or a summer dinner. Thank you for watching this episode of How I Cook. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Cheers.